proportional and non-proportional relationships. So now we're going to take all of our notes that we've taken. You got your big circle map that you glued, that we did. You have the circle map on ways to say K, and you have your doodle notes. And we're going to start putting all of that into some application on how it's going to look in problems. Okay? So, knowing what we know, let's do some of this. Proportional relationships. Always go through them. This is talking about proportional relationships in a graph. This is talking about a graph right here. Always go through the origin. The graph will always be a straight line. This one's talking about a graph right here. It will maintain a constant rate. Which is written as this ratio y over x. And again, this is the ratio. That is the ratio. I can't say that enough. Notice there, ratio, y over x. The equation of a proportional relationship is always in the form of. Now we're talking about the equation. Now we're talking about the equation. And that is y equals kx. This is the ratio. This is the equation. And k, where k is the constant ratio. K is your ratio in this equation. Okay? So, in each table below, write the ratio. So, the ratio here of y over x is 10 over 5, 16 over 8, 20 over 10, 28 over 14, and 42 over 21. This is equal to 2. 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 All of these are the same. All of this is K. That's K. All of that is K. Yes, it is proportional. And if it is proportional, we can write our equation. We use K. So y equals kx is, I'm going to use a different color right here. Y equals K is 2x. And we just take this 2, we take one of these 2's, and it goes right in there for K. Once you find your ratio, you then put it in your equation. Alright, so right here, y over x. 2 over 0. And guys, we can stop right here because we cannot have a 0 in the denominator. So I know that this is going to be not a proportion, but we're going to go ahead and look at the rest of these. We can't ever have 0 in the denominator. 8 over 3, 12 over 5, 20 over 9, and 22 over 10. I wrote all the answers to that up here, so I'll fix it in just a minute. Alright, I'll get my calculator over here. And putting that one to the side, aside for a minute, just look at the others here. 8 divided by 3 is 2.6666 repeating, so we're going to just call that 2.7 for just a minute. 12 divided by 5 is 2.4. 20 divided by 9 is 2.2. And 22 divided by 10 is 2.2. These are not the same. And this is just not even, these are not the same. So if they're not the same, we know that they are not proportional. So this is a big, fat, whopping no. Not proportional. It is not proportional. You see that? I can't tell if you can see. Yeah. Okay. So this, if this is not proportional, none of this can happen. Okay? We can't even do any of that. Down here, proportional, yes. Ratio was 10 over 5, which was 2 over 1. We can also call that 2 over 1 because there's an invisible 1, which is 2. We know that. The equation is y equals 2x. We can't even do that here because it's a no. There's nothing else we can do. All right, so let's look at these graphs. For each graph, tell if the relationship is proportional or not. We're looking at this graph. First thing we ask ourselves, does it go through the origin? Here is the origin right here. This is the origin. That is 0, 0 right there. Does that graph go through 0, 0? No. It does not go through 0, 0. It is not proportional. Because it does not pass through the origin. And the origin is 0, 0. On this one, is it a straight line? Yes. Does it pass through the origin? Yes. So with all of that being said, we can say yes, this is proportional. Because it is, yes, because it is a straight line and passes through the origin, which is 0, 0. All right. Oh, the camera's being wobbly this morning. All right. Last one. Timothy's earnings vary directly with the number of hours he works. He works 40 hours and he earns $60. Which equation represents the relationship between the number of hours he works and his earnings? So, now, deciding which, in a word problem, deciding which of these is X and which of these is Y can be a little bit tricky. And I'm just going to tell you, I kind of cheat a little bit. And if it's a multiple choice question, I cheat and I look at my answer choices. And in my answer choices right here, every one of them has E as Y. Because this is Y equals KX. Y equals KX. Y equals KX. Y equals kx. So I know that this equation, that this problem, that the hours are going to be my x, and that the earnings are going to be my y. Well, knowing that, I've got to use my ratio before I can get down here and look at these equations. So my ratio is k equals y is 60 and x is 40. That's 1.5. So I'm looking down here. Okay, wait a minute. That can't be right. Hold on. I think this is missing a number. Let me look it up and tell you what it is. Okay, guys, that's 660. Make that 660. So that should be 660 over 40. 660 divided by 40 is 16.5. So 16.50, which is this. I'm going to put my 16.50 in for K. So the answer there is B. Notice how we had to find the ratio before we could find the equation. That is very important. That is the tricky part, is to make sure you find the ratio before you find the equation. All right, that's it. So you're going to get these notes down, and then you're going to move on into the next video, which will be some practice. I'll have these in Google Classroom for you to look at.